Hello, hello, hello. The war within Prepatch is here, but not the war within, if only, right? I wish, and I'm sure you do too. So we are going to be looking at today Balance Druid and basically the changes that have been made in the Prepatch and kind of how we're going to play with some of the talent changes and what the hell is going on. Now, this is going to be a lot more shallow than my usual seasonal guides for a few reasons. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Javier. I usually do very beginner in-depth, but beginner-friendly and digestible content. That's what I like to call it anyway. And I normally go through everything. But because we're at the end of the season, I'm going to be kind of assuming you've probably already got all your gear. You just want to know how to use your rotation, etc. for the new talents and, you know, the changes for the remainder that we are in Dragonflight 4 before we go into the War Within. So that is what I'm going to be showing you today for both Mythic Plus and also Raiding. So there has been a few changes. Our primordial arcanic pulsar, that has been deleted. It's gone, where you get incarnation at every 600 astral power. That is now, it's been abolished. And honestly, it's actually getting really interesting. So before, where is it? Here. Greater Alignment and Orbital Strike are a lot better as well now. Orbital Strike actually being a lot more competitive than it was before, which is interesting. But generally, apart from the huge changes we've had in the actual Druid tree, balance itself has not changed really too much, in my opinion. It's pretty much playing the same as it did, with a few slight changes. This is the kind of raid Druid tree that I would go to. Link in the description to put that straight into your game. I do feel like it is obviously more difficult to get to certain nodes, but overall, I'm honestly fine with it. If you don't know, you've got all of your cat stuff over here, all of your general talents in the middle, and then any balanced ones are on the right-hand side. And I quite like that, because if you really want to go like one way, maybe in like PvP, you can go, you know, into like Feral and, you know, blah, blah, blah. It does mean that if you wanted to take maybe Skull Bash and Typhoon, it's getting a lot more difficult to be able to do both of those things. But hey, if you really wanted to, you can. So how are we actually going to play the rotation? So this is actually the raid or single target rotation I'm going to be showing you first. First things first, we're going to dot up everybody we can with Moonfire and Sunfire. And that's going to be generating some astral power already. If you are new here as well, this is the Lux Phos Week aura that I have in the center of my screen. It is, again, just Google that. He has updated them all for the War Within pre-patch. And they are really, really useful. I will also be doing full Balance Druid guides for Mythic Plus raiding and PvP as soon as the War Within launches. Full in-depth guides for everything you need to know. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on those on launch day. So once we've dotted up all of our enemies that are here, generally speaking, we're talking about single target, but maybe there's 2 or maybe 3 enemies around. After we've dotted them all up, we're going to go into our incarnation. If you've got Orbital Strike, you will be doing a Orbital Strike like that when you press it. All improved Moonkin form that grants the benefits of Celestial Alignment and 10% critical strike chance. Lasts 20 seconds. If you don't know what Celestial Alignment is, basically you can maintain both Eclipses. If you don't know what the Eclipses are, well, I'm going to tell you. We have a lunar and solar eclipse. Lunar eclipse empowers our AoE spells. Solar eclipse empowers our single target spells, namely Starfire and Wrath. So solar eclipse empowers our solar, Wrath. Lunar empowers our lunar, Starfire. How do we get into them? We do the opposite. Think of it like an eclipse. Funny that, I know. I've actually never thought of explaining it like this until it literally just popped into my head. But if you think, right, we're trying to go into a lunar eclipse. Sorry, solar eclipse. We're starting with solar because we're doing single target. We're trying to, this is the sun, okay? We're trying to go into a solar eclipse, okay? We're trying to empower the sun, but we're eclipsing it. So what we're going to do to go into a solar eclipse is use our moon kind of spells. So we're going to use 2 Starfires, 2 moon spells, and we're eclipsing the sun. Now it's been eclipsed, we can use our sun spell, and it's going to be empowered, which is Wrath. If we were doing AoE, and we wanted to go into a lunar eclipse, we would eclipse the moon with our sun spells, meaning we do 2 Wrath, bringing it into a half eclipse and then a full eclipse, if you will. Oh, our Lunar has been fully eclipsed. Now our Starfire has been empowered. If that doesn't make sense, TLDR, you use 2 sun spells to go into a lunar eclipse, 2 moon spells to go into a solar eclipse. Meaning, if we want to do single target damage, we're going to go put up our dots, go into our incarnation, and then we're going to go Starfire, Starfire, and then Wrath is empowered. Now, one thing to note as well is that your incarnation will put you in both eclipses. So you can technically skip that part if you are using incarnation chosen of a loon. You can see here on my weak aura, I've got my solar and lunar eclipse both on because of the cooldown. Otherwise, I would be going Starfire, Starfire, and now we're in a solar eclipse and Wrath is empowered. So just to go over that again, dot up all of your enemies, go into Incarnation Chosen of a Loon, and then start using Wrath as your filler, because it's now empowered in a solar eclipse after you've gone into Incarnation. You can see here, I've capped out on Astral Power. I'm going to basically spend that with Star Surge, pretty simply. Do not cap out on Astral Power. Spend it with Star Surge, no matter which eclipse you're in. The only other thing we need to talk about now, really, is our moons. You cycle through moons. We have new moon, half moon, full moon. New moon generates some astral power and deals astral damage and becomes half moon. So we use new moon, it's now half moon. We use half moon, it's now a full moon. If you're wondering how to use this, putting it really simply, cycle through and try and line up your full moon with your incarnation. So imagine we're clicking incarnation. We want to be in our full moon when we are going into our incarnation. Try and line those up, okay? That's all there is really to it. One other thing we can do is use our Warrior of a Loon, which will give us 3 instant Starfires. If you're going into your next solar eclipse, what I would advise is use Warrior of a Loon to go boom, boom, and use the third one, because you might as well. A few quick instant Starfires to get us into that solar eclipse even quicker. And that is a really good way to use that. And it's only on a 45-second cooldown as well. So just to recap the simple single target rotation, dot everything up, go into Incarnation, Chosen of a Loon, and then start doing your Wrath, and also cycling your new moon and half moon to get into full moon, ready for when you're in your incarnation, which we are now, so we can just go straight into it. And making sure we're using Star Surge so we don't cap on astral power. And using our Warrior of a Loon when we need to go back into our solar eclipse, because it makes it a lot quicker using Starfire to get into that solar eclipse there. Apart from that, there's just a few like passive talents, which is going to be Star-Lord here. Star Surge and Starfall grant you 4% haste for 15 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Gaining a stack does not refresh the duration, however. Meaning you want to kind of use like 3 Star Surges in quick succession to get your 3 stacks here of your Star-Lord. Because imagine I use a third one like now. You're going to see here, gone up to 3 stacks, but it hasn't refreshed the duration, okay? Meaning if you use it when it's about to run out, you're basically wasting stacks there. So just be wary of that. And again, don't max out your astral power. But that really is as simple as the rotation goes at the moment in Prepatch for single target. If we head over into the Mythic Plus build, you can see we're changing a few talents over, not massively. We go over to Orbit Breaker here. Every 25th shooting star calls down a full moon. Cool, it happens passively. And then apart from that, we're really just going into Starfall. And you can see here this costs 45 astral power. So we're going to basically use this instead of our Star Surge. So I can use Starfall, and you can see falling stars doing AoE damage in that area. So just basically Star Surge is going to be single target, Starfall is going to be AoE. And that really is the only like major change I would do to your rotation at this point. You can go a bit more in depth than this. However, if you're watching this video and you might be new to Balance Druid, just wait until the War Within. I'll have the full guide out for that in a few weeks, as I always do for patch launches. This, again, is just a bit more of a quick update on what's going on now that we're in the short pre-patch transitionary period. So, guys, I will see you in the War Within.